Welcome, Thunderbird Nation, to the Thunderbird Coaches Show. I'm your host, Jon Smith. With me, as always, Coach DeLane Fitzgerald, the newly extended Coach Fitzgerald. Congratulations on that, man.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. If you're okay with it, we'll talk about that a little later in the program. Talk about the extension, what that means for you in the program. And I'm excited to talk about that. Also in the studio, we have the big man up front in the trenches, Kyle Sfarcioc. Welcome, young man.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, it's good to see you. Good to have you here. We'll talk a little bit more to Kyle also about his preparation from the off season going into the season, and get to know you a little better here in just a bit. Man, it's a beautiful day to be a T-Bird. It's a fine day to be a T-Bird, Coach. Don't you feel it?
Yeah, the funny thing about you is you'll come in here in November. It's a beautiful day outside.
It is.
It's a beautiful day. Hey.
Cedar City's a gorgeous place.
Kyle starts talking about what's in the air and such. Yeah, he goes,
electricity.
Electricity.
It's in the air, Coach. Yeah. The nights are getting a little cooler. The fall weather's kind of just creeping up on us. It's a blue moon tonight. I don't know if you knew that. A super blue moon. That's exciting. I mean, things are going on in Cedar City. Look, the 2024 football campaign is upon us. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention our sponsors, the Warehouse Bar Plus Kitchen. Look, everybody's excited to get to campus here in the next week or so. We got faculty, we got all the student and the student athletes coming in. It's just really exciting time. But look, if you want to decompress, you want to have a good time, you want to hear a little DJ, whatever it is, man, the Warehouse is the place to be. Great kitchen, great food there, great atmosphere. Look, just reminding you to head down to the Warehouse Bar Plus Kitchen. There's great food, awesome atmosphere, and craft cocktails. It's just a great place to unwind, enjoy yourself. Coach, I know there's from time to time we go down to the Warehouse Bar Plus Kitchen. What's your favorite menu item down there?
I like lunch there. The wings. Hey, wings, sliders, fries, all pretty good. Yeah,
no, Reggie's a great guy, takes care of us. Great sponsor of the show. Appreciate him and the Warehouse Bar Plus Kitchen. Coach, let's get into it a little bit, man. We're 10 days before we kick at Utah. Before we get into the schedule and anything like that, let's talk about this contract extension and what does that mean for your staff and for our program in general, Coach.
I don't know how much of a change it is for anybody. The administration and myself, we've worked on this for maybe the last 6 months. Worked on a contract extension. It was mutually beneficial for both sides. I wanted to stay here, John. I've said this and going to continue to say this. Our future, the best is yet to come for our football program. Have an opportunity to be good this fall. Have an opportunity to be great next fall and the year after that. Sitting here talking to you, 15 seniors, 38 juniors, 38 juniors and 36 sophomores, and we're excited about that. This young man beside us here this fall, here next fall, from the day I got here, I've said that 25 was our year to be really, really good. And I don't want to jump ahead because we've got things this fall to take care of, and we're going to be good. But hey, excited about the contract extension. My two children really, really excited about the contract extension.
Stay in school, finish up in a school that they're familiar with. They don't have to bump around so much.
We spend a lot of time talking about the pluses in this town. It's a great town for children now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the weather and the school system and the way the kids are raised and act and stuff in this town. John, the fact that the how do you say this, that the children in this town still run around and play like it's 1950, 60, and 70.
Pretty cool.
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah. What does it do as far as stabilizing? I mean, it's a contract extension for you as the head coach, but also doesn't it give the assistants and the staff kind of maybe some peace of mind knowing that things are just going to be going on as planned?
The easy answer is just to say sure and let us move on, but no, it doesn't work like that.
Okay. Well, give us an insight. How does it work?
Our feet are to the fire every single day. Ask Kyle how it works for him if he stinks it up in practice this evening. Yeah, ask him how much job security he's got in the morning. It's not much. We wake up every morning and we're attempting to get better that day, and we hold ourselves to a really, really high standard, and we're trying to get to that standard. I don't know, and maybe other coaches think differently than me, but I don't know if other people sit back and go, kind of go,
that breath of
I've got
relief.
No, it's the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. No matter how good we get, there's going to be a rough edge somewhere that we're trying to polish.
Yeah. One thing I think, and maybe the reason why the university and the staff was so excited to get you extended is you have a sense of urgency about you. Every next play is the most important play. Every off season is the most important off season, and it's go, go, go. Like you just said, you got your feet to the fire. You hold your own feet to the fire. I know that as well as anybody. Success is what you want, and success is what you strive for every single day. You don't really take days off. It's just football, football, football. Let's go.
We have to, and society would be a hell of a lot better if it was like this too. But we have to be where our feet are at.
Okay.
We have to be exactly where our feet are at. And the only thing we can do to improve is improve right now.
Yeah.
You're not going to improve thinking about what happened in the past, and you can't improve thinking about what's getting ready to happen in the future. You have to live right now, and you have to work really, really darn hard to improve in the here and now.
Yeah. Lift where you stand, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I like it. Man, anything else you want to talk about contract extension wise?
No, happy to have it done. Very, very happy to have Cedar City as our home for the next several years. I think it's 5 seasons for the next 5 seasons. I'm excited about it. I know our assistant coaches are excited about it. There's a lot of us on that staff been together a long time, so I know they're excited about it. And then the new coaches, the coaches that we acquired after we got here, pretty tight knit group.
Yeah. Well, look, as a fan, I love to see it. I love to see that there's taking that question mark out of it, and at least giving you the opportunity to show what you got. Another 5 seasons. That's incredible. We're happy. At least I am.
John, let's end this subject on this one. Myself and our coaching staff feel a huge responsibility to repay the university for the faith that they put in us.
That's a great way to put it, Coach. Speaking of that, look, let's talk about some of the work you've been doing. Are you out of fall camp? Is that wrapped, or is that wrap on Monday? Like, where are you at in the schedule of your off-season preparation?
Yeah, in our football program, we wrap camp the day before school starts.
Okay.
So we're going to be in camp next Tuesday, 48 hours before we kick off. We're still in camp.
I see.
We run camp right up until the day school starts. Our coaching staff has always done it that way. John, we're meeting multiple times a day, and we're lifting, and we're practicing, and we're walking through, and we work a little harder in preseason camp than a lot of football programs do these days. But it's who we are, and it's the way we're going to continue to be.
Yeah, you got to get, like you said, you got to get better, and the only way to do that is today. So you got to get after it.
Our football program's best way to get better today, and we have meetings at 3 and practice at 4 this afternoon. Our best way to get better today is to be really good in the meeting at 3 and to be really good on the practice field from 4 to 6.
Yeah. We are now, obviously, we're on the field. We're going through our installs and everything like that. Let's back up a little bit, though, and let's talk about off-season preparation. You had mentioned that this is what you think is probably the best off-season you've had, any team that you've been a part of. Maybe give us a little more in-depth as to what that takes, what kind of grit and what kind of determination you've seen in your guys.
John, big statement, because this is year 30 as a player and coach.
Yeah.
5 as a player, 25 as a coach. This is the best offseason that any team that I've ever been a part of has had. We're bigger, faster, stronger, and deeper than we've ever been here in my 3 seasons here, than we've been in my 3 seasons here. We're bigger, faster, stronger, and deeper than any football team that I've ever coached. Now, that is absolutely meaningless if we don't have heart. If we rest on our laurels, if we don't have any heart and any grit and any of that when the rubber meets the road in a game, none of it matters. But we have an opportunity. We have an opportunity to exert our will on some people this year, and there won't be anything they can do about it.
You mentioned grit. Look, you got to have grit to get better. I think you got to have that determination and the discipline, right? To look at the work ahead of you and get after it and get better. Showing grit in the off season, don't you think that is the best way to carry it forward into the season, into the games, is to show, hey, I put in this work. I know what it's like to suffer. Now that I'm in the game, I'm comfortable suffering. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I don't. And college athletics, I think comfortable is a bad word.
You're used to feeling uncomfortable.
You become comfortable being uncomfortable.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. There you
Not
go.
comfortable.
No, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. John, if you don't have any determination and grit, and if you don't have any stick-to-itiveness and the dogged perseverance to come back and come back and come back day after day, if you don't have it in the off season, you're not going to have it in the game.
Yeah.
You're not going to have it in preseason camp. You're not going to have it in prep during the week, and you're not going to have it in the game either.
It starts in the classroom. It starts in the weight room. It starts when you're doing those sprints you don't want to do and the conditioning that you don't want to do, all the way to the line and touch it, and all the way back, finishing everything that you do, Coach. And I've been to probably half the practices, maybe not quite half, but you guys preach it, you guys coach it, and I'll tell you what, if they don't achieve it, you make them do it again.
For those of y'all out there, we roll out on the field 6:45 a.m. Brother Smith across the desk from me does not like 7 8. He is not a 6:45 a.m. guy now.
How many fans show up at 6:45 a.m. every day to watch their team play football?
It's one of the reasons we do it.
Yeah.
It's one of them. Yeah.
I get there about 7:45 when the action starts.
Nice.
I'm not there for the warm-up lines.
Nice and quiet and peaceful. This is the first place I've ever coached. First place I've coached where the practices were open.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you move them to uncomfortable times.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Well, look, we've got the off season figured out. It's done. It's over. We're going now into fall camp. Let's talk about some standouts, some guys that you've seen translate some of this work and grit and determination we just talked about into their actual play on the field. Why don't you highlight a couple guys that you see that have doing obviously Kyle's sitting next to you. You want to start there?
Yeah, his reward for having a great offseason in the weight room and how good he's been on and off the field and as a rising leader for us is to come on here and get berated by us today. I've said that twice now. Twice. Yeah.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Here's your prize.
Berated. No, he's tell us why he's sitting next to you.
Kyle set the school power clean record this offseason in July, about a month ago. He power cleaned 400 pounds. No straps. No straps, no knee wraps, very, very, very light chalk. It's a lot of weight for everybody out there. It's a lot of weight, power clean 400 pounds. And then he turned around 2 days later and back squatted 655. And in my opinion, worked the hardest this offseason of any kid in our program. Maybe made the biggest jump of any player in our program this offseason, but really, really proud of him. That there are some others that in preseason camp, Kyle's been good in preseason camp. Los Santos done a nice job this preseason camp. Ed Riley, who in my opinion is the best center in the conference, has done a nice job. Colin Gardner has been really good. And then the two surprises, John, on the offensive line is Jeremy Perkins and the old school, and I'm old enough now, but the old school coaches always talked about year three. They said when an offensive lineman's a redshirt sophomore, and some defensive line coaches will say this too. They say they figure it out. They really come into their own. Jeremy Perkins has come into his own this fall, and now we can move him in and out of the starting lineup and in and out of the center and guard position and don't miss a beat.
Love it.
And big plus for us is, and I'm not going to attempt to pronounce his last name. We picked up Vita this summer, and Vita 2 years ago started 11 games at Missouri State. Last year he started 3 or 4 games at Missouri State in a reserve role, but was out of football and had a family member that was working here at the university, and we heard about him and got him on our team for his graduate year.
What a great
for his
story.
5th year.
Yeah.
He thought he was done until about a month and a half ago, and now he's playing really, really well for us.
Cool.
John, at the running back position, Targi Lamson and Braden Whistler have had a good camp. And then the two that have come on in camp that I don't call them surprises because we've thought they were talented is Jordan Jefferson and Cade Bowering have done a nice job this camp for us and excited about them. I'm running right on through them here. Wide receiver position, Mark Bales. And we brought Mark Bales in as a grad transfer, and Mark's all that we thought he would be, and a number one receiver and going to have a good fall for us, and we're excited about him. Mark caught 50 balls for 1,000 yards last year, and I'm rounding.
Wow.
But he caught 50 balls for 1,000 yards last year, probably going to do the same for us this year. And then the other one that it's really come on for a young player, and I know you're going to bring up young guys later, but Shane Carr. Shane Carr is probably our number 2 receiver right now, and we're excited about him. At tight end position, the two incumbents have been really good this camp, and that's Josh Accord and Chase Merrill. We're hoping that one of those other tight ends will step up behind them and give us some depth. They haven't yet, but we're hoping that'll happen. And then, the elephant in the room is the QB position, and we came into camp, and it was a, three-headed monster. We think we've got it down to 2 players and still waiting on them to separate themselves. John, I thought both of those young men that are fighting for it right now, I thought they were good quarterbacks coming into camp. The competition with each other has made them better than good, but both of them playing really, really well, and we're excited about that. For everybody out there, if it stays close, we just play them both.
Yeah.
If it stays close, we're just going to play them both, and that's the way it is.
Kind of ride the hot hand.
I don't believe the Bill Parcells philosophy. So if we had Phil Simms here, we wouldn't play 2 quarterbacks. But we don't. So we may play 2 and probably going to play 2 and excited about that.
Yeah.
So both of the kids can handle the situation.
But there's depth at that possession that we haven't had in a while.
Yeah, we go 3 or 4 deep, and they're good players.
Yeah, like they can all handle themselves.
They can all handle themselves.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, 1 through 4 could definitely get in a game and play.
In the past, it was Justin Miller, and then we fell off a cliff.
Yeah,
and you did everything you could do not to have anyone touch Justin during the game.
It's a good thing our O-line was so good.
That's it. Lead the conference in rushing, and then lead the conference in sacks allowed.
Yeah,
keep them off of Justin.
Yep.
So defensive side of the ball in camp playing well. Peyton Payne, he's had a day or two. We got to get some consistency out of Peyton. That looked like a All-American player for 1 week and then hadn't done anything the last week, but he's had a good camp. Rylan Suafilo has flashed at times during camp. Really got to fix his pad level, work on his pad level there. We come down, safety position has been George Ramirez, and then we picked up Cam Roca as a transfer out of Sac State and had played the last 3 years at Sac State, done a really nice job for us.
Which Sac State was no joke. I mean, those 3 years, they were really quite an excellent FCS team.
He played on a really good team.
Yep,
they're
really good team.
Top 10 again this year.
Yeah.
He wanted a chance to play more and start, and if he keeps it up, he's gonna. Cam's got to learn to play. He's got to learn to play a little better. He's got to know the calls and his assignments on the calls a little better than he does now. But as far as being a football player, he's done a nice job.
Great.
The corner position, that Devin Perkins and Dean Jones have been really good this camp. And then LPJ's been better than I thought he would be thus far, so he's going to get some playing time. Regan's in the background smiling. He's Regan's favorite player. LP will take all the fans he can get. And as long as nobody tells him that his haircut's good, we're good. So as people start lying to him, telling him his hair's nice, and we got a problem because he's just going to accentuate that thing he's got going on.
And then personal style.
And then the other one, I know he's a newcomer, but Zion Allen. Zion transferred in here from BYU, and Zion might be the fastest player in the country. But boy, he can go. So when he's technically sound and playing with confidence, he's done a nice job this camp. At the defensive end position, Lando Brown came into us, junior college player out of California, and has done a nice job. And Kyle can tell you he's difficult to block.
And a lot to handle.
Yeah, difficult to block at the defense, but he's the defensive end that's played well so far. Henry Harper's been a pleasant surprise, much improved from last year. He's bigger, faster, stronger, and he's doing a better job, and we expect him to get into the rotation. Linebacker, we're pretty good at linebacker, and you got Connor Cullimore returning there, and we knew what we were getting. The standout has been Mason Stromstead.
Yeah,
Mason Stromstead has done really, really well this camp, and we're excited about him. At nickelback, it's Jaden Robinson, and then we've got Raymond Crump backing him up. Both of them have played better the last week and a half. That they both play better. We have to have them play better than they're currently playing. Raymond's got to put the past in the past and play fast, but we're excited about him. And then, John, we think we've got our specialist position shored up, and Danny King's had a good camp, and Gavin Lipkin's had a good camp, and I always screw his name up. Elias, let me look. Elias Vigil.
Yeah, Elias,
I don't know why that's so hard for me, but Elias Vigil at the punting position's done a nice job. And that rounds out who's played well.
Awesome, man. You mentioned a lot of names there. The one definitely that I was almost shocked to see was Lando Brown. Mm-hmm. If for those of you don't know Lando, He's not the tallest guy, but man, he can get after it. He's just very, I don't even know what the word is. He's got the right angles, and he gets in the backfield a lot. So I'll be excited.
John doesn't want to say on the air that he's vertically challenged.
Well, I just said he didn't quite have the height, Coach. I mean, let's give Lando the benefit of the doubt.
The college coaches talk to defensive ends about dipping and ripping and turning a corner. And when you turn a corner, you try to drag your elbow on the ground. You try to be that low.
Yeah.
Because what does a 6'5", 330 tackle not want to do?
Yeah, get down there.
Yeah, do not want to bend.
You don't want to bend.
Well, Lando doesn't have as far to bend as the other defensive ends in the country.
He can get after it, though.
He's already there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
John been very successful with short DEs. Been very successful with short defensive ends my entire career.
Sure.
Yeah, Zach Strand's our strength and conditioning coach, and he's vertically challenged too. Tried to tell me the other day he was 6'1".
6'1", huh?
I told him not even standing on the cinder block.
He definitely, for those for older fans, you definitely need to stand on a phone book. Younger fans don't even know what those are anymore. Let's talk quick, Coach, about we talked a couple new faces, but there's some young players, some freshmen, and some either younger transfers that have come in. Let's just briefly go after some of those new faces. You had mentioned Shane Carr. Is he what's his status as far as a freshman or
he's
a
a freshman?
Or,
no,
okay.
he's a freshman, and he's been here with us a year. He walked on just a general student last year, so this will be his redshirt freshman year.
Okay.
And really done well. John, when they like to play.
Yeah.
When they like to play football, they usually do okay playing football, and he likes to play, likes to practice, has gotten better as preseason camp has gone on.
Good.
Yeah, not many times you pop up and say, hey, our first, second receiver on the team is a freshman, but with him we're saying that. Yeah. And it's really just his love of playing.
Cool.
Vertonio Weatherton in the same situation.
Okay.
Came here and was just a general student last year and got himself into the program this summer and has done a nice job when he's been available. And availability is a big part of our football program. When he's been available, he's been a really good freshman on the defensive line. You asked about him standing out. Dylan Kirby, redshirt freshman, had a better fall than we thought and got a lot of things to work on.
He played right tackle?
Right tackle.
Okay.
Playing right tackle, and he's got some things to work on. He's got to play harder than he currently does, but he's been better than we thought he would be. Yeah. We talked about Shane. Devin Downing, and you got to love Utah now. You get the 29-year-old married return missionary red shirt freshman. That I'm picking on Devin. I think Devin's 21. That's a guess, but
Devin's a great kid.
21-year-old freshman, doing a nice job for us, and if he stays the course, going to be a good football player in our program.
Yeah.
Sticking with that red shirt freshman theme, Nico, and again, not going to try Nico's last name. For all the Pollies out there, I love y'all. Your names, wow.
He's just not trying to disrespect the family, so he's just keeping it simple. Nico. Hey, he's a load.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce all those letters. But anyway, Nico's done a nice job for us. Cam Athey coming to us out of Phoenix, Arizona, has done a nice job. And those really been John, Dylan Kirby, Shane Carr, Devin Downing, Nico, Cam Athey have been the freshmen that have impressed early.
There's a name that I haven't heard that's in the back of my mind. Robertson?
Who?
Is it Jaden?
We got to get over to the defense.
Oh, we're still on offense?
You're always out. That's just the offense.
Yeah, my bad.
On the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah, let's talk about the defensive side of the ball.
Flip over on defense. We talked about Vertonio and then Parker Andrews.
Yeah, we did. See, we talked about Vertonio. He was on defense.
Yeah, just because he's in the same situation as Shane.
Oh, that's fair.
You're always putting the cart before the horse.
No. I don't know about you, Coach.
Slow down, young man. Slow down.
He gets a contract extension, and he starts yipping at me.
Easy.
All right.
I was yipping at you long before that contract.
I know that.
Parker Andrews done a nice job at D-tackle, and he had a good week last week, and he's got to keep building on that. John, a lot of people didn't expect Barron Taylor to be this good this early.
Yeah.
I talk about this all the time. People think it's a cliche. In the recruiting process, you can, when a kid's around his parents, you can kind of tell, you kind of get a little something. And I could say some things to offend some people, but it makes us not recruit certain kids. Mm-hmm. But being around Barron with his mom and dad, and how his dad handled his business and how Barron handled his business, I went, I said, little undersized, feet are too big for his body. I said, hey, let's try. Let's try and see what happens here. Barron's been big this preseason camp. Barron's got a chance to be a good college football player. Excited about him. Mikey Allen, redshirt freshman. Done a nice job. Mikey didn't get a whole lot done because he was banged up last fall, but he's done a nice job thus far and going to get some playing time now, a lot more playing time than he got last year, and excited about him. And then you brought up Jaden Robertson.
That's it.
Yeah, Jaden Robertson we brought in here out of Las Vegas, and he's been as good. He's been as good as any player on the defensive side of the ball for us for the last 3 weeks, and excited about his freshman year.
Yeah, I was number 25 pops when you watch practice and how he moves on the field and how he reads, kind of what's going on the offense.
Go back to what we talked about earlier. Likes to play ball.
Yeah, there you go. It's got a passion for the game. Yeah,
John, we recruited and signed Jaden at the wide receiver position. We brought him in here to play wide receiver. We got thin. Kyle looking at me because this is the first time he's hearing all this. We got thin at corner, was worried about depth at DB. Called Jaden before he even got here, April, May. Called him in April, May and said, hey, you have a problem making a switch? He goes, no, Coach, I have no problem. He's been really good at it.
You're probably not going to see the other side of the ball. He's doing so well.
His wide receiver days.
It might be over. Yeah.
DONE.
Coach Meesum's over there shaking his head like, "Hey, I thought I had this guy." And
yeah, Jaden will touch.
And Chima's like, "Yes."
Jaden will touch the ball at punt returner and kick returner. Yeah. Those will be his touches.
Pretty special player. All right, Coach. Thank you. So that kind of covers the standouts that you had, the new faces. Just kind of quick segue here. You know my wife Shannon, she's like obviously the better half. She went up to
in your case maybe the better 3/4.
Oh man, it's true. It is true. She was just kind of relaying an experience she had last week. She went up to Brian Head and went up on the chairlift all the way to the tippy top, and she's like, hey, I got up there. It's like this fresh air, and it's like 10,000 feet. It's even more than that. I don't know what it is. It's probably like 12,000 feet up there. It's way up there. You can see like to Nevada from there. And she's like, it's peaceful. It's awesome. I haven't been up here in years. And it's just a great segue to talk about Visit Cedar City Brian Head. And Visit Cedar City Brian Head is sponsoring our student spotlight, Mr. Kyle Sfarcioc. Welcome, brother. Sorry, we haven't been interacting as much, but it's your time now. Is it you cool if I ask you a few questions, get to know Kyle Sfarcioc?
That's good.
All right, man. Where are you from?
I was born in Detroit, and then I moved over to Peoria, Arizona, and lived there for the rest of my life.
Peoria is that like around Phoenix area?
Yeah. No, it's a suburb of Las Vegas.
Inside joke.
The West Valley of Phoenix.
West Valley. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. What are you studying in school? Do you have a declared major? Where are you going with the academics?
I'm a comm major.
Comm, sure.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I like it.
Yeah.
Teaching me to like public speak more and be more I don't know. I kind of want to like own a business when I'm older.
Yeah.
So like being able to like make connections with people and knowing how to talk would be really good.
Yeah, look, that's my world, and the reality is it does take a certain level of communication to make sure that you can talk about a product or service to your prospective buyers, but also talking with employees and making sure that they understand where they're supposed to be, what they're supposed to be doing. Communication is super important in all that, so cool for you. We're talking about grit, right? We're talking about that. Coach brought you here because he felt like you were kind of the embodiment of, grit and getting better and getting after it every day. What does grit mean to you? Like, how do you use that in your preparation and on the field?
You kind of like play every play as your last.
Okay.
When Coach Fitz got here, I was getting off an injury, and I don't know, I wasn't in the best mind space, and Coach Fitz told us the first day he got here, you're going to get 1% better or you're going to get out of here, basically.
Yep.
And I don't know. I really took it to heart, and every day I try to get better, and I don't know. It's good to play for Coach Fitz. So anyone listen to this,
hey,
if you want to get better and launch your career, come play for Coach Fitz.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, we did not pay him to say that. That was unsolicited. But yeah, the reality is if you want to get after it, you want to get better, and you want to get motivated to be the best football player you can be, it's a great place to be, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Let's talk about Cedar City. It's kind of, you've been here now is this your third year in Cedar City?
Yeah.
What do you like about Cedar City? What do you like about the community here?
I like it has like all 4 seasons.
Okay.
That's really good. Coming from Arizona, you just got the heat.
Oh, it's just hot, hot, hot.
Yeah. And I don't know, the food here is pretty good. I like going to like Centro, or I went to Central for the first time a couple of weeks ago. And
That's a pretty nice spot.
It's pretty good.
Sure.
Yeah. And I don't know. It's just really nice out here.
Yeah.
Cool.
How have the fans interacted with you as you've been here as a football player?
I go out to eat sometimes, and I go walk around the store. People ask me questions about football. It's just nice to see that.
But they're interested. They see you around. They know who you are, and they want to get to know you and tell you that, go T-Birds and all that.
Yes, sir.
Cool, man. I love to hear it. Man, if you had one bit of like advice for the freshman you coming in, what would you tell yourself now that you've been in the program 3 years?
Make sure you love football. That's all.
That's awesome. You got to love it because you're going to put blood, sweat, and tears into it, right?
Yes, sir.
That's the facts. Oh, man, that's great. Kyle, any shout-outs you have for anybody at home that you want to say hello to on the show today?
Just my family.
Cool.
My mom, brothers, my dad.
Awesome.
Yeah. Names. Say their names.
My brothers, I'll just go from oldest to youngest. Jacob, Nathan, Sam, Avery, Zach, and then my mom, Sherry, and my dad, VRL.
That's awesome, man.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to the Sfarcioc family. Coach, you got anything else you want to – we're just kind of getting to the end of the time, but it's been a nice flow. Anything else that you want to add to the show today?
No, it's a good start.
Yeah.
We talked about extensions and that stuff. We're doing everything for the third time now. This is the third preview and everything third. We're in the middle of our third camp, getting ready to have our third opening game. Yeah. It seems like deja vu every day now.
Deja vu all over again.
All over again.
Well, look, I'm excited. I'm excited for not only, I don't know, like you said, the third go-round. You kind of understand, maybe you've seen the opponent, maybe you've seen how they coach, maybe you've seen kind of what you have here as far as your resources and how to best use them. You're not getting over the shock of what you do and don't have, and it's time to get after it. So I'm excited for that.
You say it better than me. We're playing some people for the second and third time on our schedule, so we know what they're doing. They know what we're doing. John, that's when the preparation becomes so key. Yeah, because it's not what you do; it's how you do it.
Yep.
And how well are we going to practice each week?
Yeah. Well, look, this has been a good preview show. I appreciate you guys being here with us. We'll go into Utah next week and start really focusing on opponents in the later weeks after this. But look, I'm excited for the season. I know Coach makes fun of me, but there is some electricity in the air. You feel it. I love this time of year. It's exciting. Yeah, man, football is back, baby.
Kyle, he says that about the heat. He says it about the leaves falling. He says it about hey, it's snowing. He goes, there's just an electricity in here.
There's energy, man.
Where?
If the energy's fall energy, then I love it. My wife knows this is my favorite time of the year. Football is upon us.
It's mine, too. Yeah. I'm just joking with you.
It's go time, baby. So,
everybody should be excited. Hey, John, thank you for having Kyle and I with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, so for Kyle Sfarcioc, Coach DeLane Fitzgerald, I'm Jon Smith signing off. Go T-Birds.
Go Thunderbirds.